Welcome back to the Data Analytics playlist. On this episode, I want to go into what are the type of questions that do you ask in data science. This is irregardless of the role. Each specific role will have obviously specific questions, but I wanted to go through a general framework of the most important questions and the most important way to think in data science. Most of the time, you find some of these questions fall under the category of what would a data scientist ask. But as I said, each different role has got a different way of going through it. But it's very important that you always ask these questions. Now, each questions are broken up into categories. I'll go into the 4 different categories. We're not talking about analysis, things like descriptive analysis or predictive analysis. It's very important that you don't confuse the two. All right. I think I did an episode before where I spoke about that more in general on the Building Data Science playlist. And in the previous episode, I went through EDA, which is a part of a deep dive into one of the categories. So I'll just go through that as well. Right? Now, when we say what are the type of questions to ask in data science, normally these are broken up into 4 questions, right? First, we have, I think we've got the explore, which is what I spoke about just now. We've got the inferential questions. So just say questions, explore questions. We've got the 3, the causal questions. And then 4, we've got the predictive questions. Now, when we're talking about a way to think about how do you ask these questions, when you immediately break the questions up, when you're in regardless of the role that you're in, how do you ask the questions and what do they fall under? What is the importance? When we speak about importance, right, I spoke about something called EDA, which is exploratory data analysis. I did a previous episode where I explained it, and then I actually go through a tutorial, one of my few tutorials where I actually write in Python code a practical implementation of EDA, which is exploratory data analysis. Now, why I decided to spend 2 episodes going into that is people must understand that you're working a lot with information. And how this information is structured, how it's shaped, how it's distributed. You must be able to understand that. Different roles use this information and they manipulate it and they transform it in different ways, but it all comes back to how are you using this information. I'm just checking if the mic is on. Right? Now, when we're talking about your data, right, this data will become part of a pipeline, and this information will move regardless of the position or the role that you have. This information will be in transit as you're going to answer what is the problem that your business or the project or the software, what is the issue that you're solving. This information is going to move through a pipeline. But as it's moving, and even before you get there, you have to explore in what shape is the information structured in? What is the distribution? Are there any correlations? What are the similarities? The shape becomes important because the shape, as you know, in what I do in my role as an AI engineer, I work with the information, and then the shape that the information comes in, I build it and put it into machine learning models. But each model requires the information to be structured and shaped in a different way. But if I don't structure and if I don't understand the information well enough, I can structure it in a different way, which will lead to poor accuracy. So most of the time, you find things like EDA become so important to understand and say, okay, where are we going? What are we doing? How are we getting there? What's the information there? That's just a simple, like the questions on EDA, right? Now, when we're talking about the second one, which is inferential, right? We're now talking about you're using a smaller population to understand a larger population. So let's say you're now using a smaller subset of the information, because remember, when we're working with information, with data, we're talking about massive amounts of information. So when we're drawing conclusions through that, we try to use a smaller amount of the information to try and do that. But now the problem is, when you're now thinking of taking it to a larger population, you have to think, what is your margin of error when you're making these calculations, right? There's a video which I did, I think, on the Building Data Science playlist, when I speak about the importance of statistics in data science. This is where you find that in statistics, there's a concept called sampling techniques. So you find sampling techniques become something that's important, and you find that each has got drawbacks, and each has got a reason for it. So when you're busy when you're asking inferential questions, you're trying to make, not, I wouldn't say assumptions, but you're trying to now be able to say, okay, using this amount of smaller population, how can I do this in order to get to your main goal? Remember, these questions are what you ask in order to reach your main goal, which is to solve the business problem. But now you're asking questions to go deeper into it, right? I'll try not to go too deep into this. And I think there is a better way to say it, a more technical way. But I think as an introductory, it's a good way to think about it and say, okay, what am I doing? Okay, what's going on here? All right. I'll try and make an episode on this data analytics playlist where I go a bit more in depth on that, right? Now, when we're talking about causal questions, right, what we're trying to say is what is the cause and what is the effect. I think this is done, right? So when we're trying to say cause and effect, remember, when we're working with things like data, there is something which is really interesting called feature engineering. So you're trying to understand what is the importance of the cause. You're saying this part of the information, or this part of the information led to this result. But which one is more important into regards to the cause? Which one is something which you find that it can't live without, That's something which you now begin to ask questions, because you're trying to understand importance. This idea of importance stems back to the feature engineering, because when you're now trying to build a machine learning model, you're now trying to understand, like, okay, what is it? What are the causes? Which are causes worth keeping? What are the key important aspects which lead to what I'm looking for? What must I drop? Remember, you're trying to improve the accuracy. Irregardless of the role, you find other roles like data engineering, where they're building the pipeline. You find others take certain information and reshape it, and then they reshape it, they lose certain features or certain elements of the information so that it works for their pipeline, but then that destroys certain elements because they don't understand the importance. That's why you find data science is such a multidisciplinary field, and also you find that teams need to work together, because as it's being built, That's why some also companies prefer to have one person or one specific lead who orchestrates how everything is done to prevent such, right? When we're now saying the final category, we're now talking about predictive questions, right? I think here there's something called predictive analysis, but as I said, I'm going to go through the different types of analysis and go deeper into them to prevent any confusion. But when we're now saying predictive analysis, what we're trying to do is we're trying to say, okay, with the information that I have, right? So with the current data that I have, let's say historical data, can I find patterns in that information so that I can be able to predict future results? Running out of space. Future. So, with the historical information that I have that is available to me, can I be able to find patterns in that information so that I can be able to produce future results? And of course, this part becomes important because now I'm looking at accuracy. Now, when we're saying which tools am I going to use to predict future results, this is where machine learning models come in, and different roles within data analysis try to do different tools, different analysis, different things to be able to now predict future results, right? But one of the things that people must understand is how much these questions all interlink with one another. Remember, it's a way to think, it's a thinking framework, right? It's very important that people understand that these questions are a way to think. Those that are begin to go further in their career or have more experience understand the type of questions to ask, how to get the most amount of value and get the most amount of questions, get most amount of information from their teams, and also be able to get the most amount of questions, value from their stakeholders, so that they can produce the best results, irregardless of whether you want to explain the information for the company, whether you're trying to find the importance, whether you're trying to build a machine learning model, but understanding which features are important. So it's very, I think now I'm repeating myself, but I'll leave it there and we'll try and go into now the different types of analysis on the data analysis playlists, and I'll go more in depth on those so that people can then be able to understand. I really suggest people watch the building data science playlist, and then the data analysis playlist as well. You go through so that you understand exactly. At the end of the screen, I think by now it will start popping up. I'm going to put those different playlists so people can be able to go into that. I've broken everything up to try and go into subject by subject, issue by issue, so that people can be able to go on a specific video for something you don't understand, but you can then go through all the videos to get a comprehensive understanding of data science. I'm not sure if I'll go through the specific job role. I doubt I'll do tutorial videos. I think there are other people who do better, and I don't think that's necessary for me to try and repeat something, but I'll try to put the links to those so people can be able to follow up on that. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.